Welcome back, everyone, to Ferris Sports Update. With us today is senior women's soccer player Bri Borgman, and first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
You're in your final season here with the Bulldogs and off to a good start here in the season. You've got 10 goals on the year leading the Bulldogs. Talk about your individual play this year and how you felt about your performance.
This past summer, I really focused on just getting fit and getting in shape so I could have a successful senior year. We have a lot of good freshmen coming in that have really benefited the team with setting me up to score these goals, and they've also helped out by scoring as well. So.
This past weekend, you had a couple home matches, and it had to be pretty nice to be back at home after you had been on the road for more than a month, played 8 matches in a row on the road, so nice to be back at home.
Yeah, I think that the girls were pretty sick and tired of staying in hotels, and I know the last weekend when we were up in the UP, a lot of the girls were saying, oh, I just want to be back home, I just want to be back home. And I think that's what led to losing those 2 games away up in the UP. So I think coming back this weekend really helped us put some fire in our bellies to just come away with a win and a tie this weekend.
You got the win on Friday over Findlay by a score of 2-0, and then on Sunday, a 1-1 tie against the Tiffin Dragons. And I know we have some highlights of Sunday's game. You had a goal in both games, and fortunately against Tiffin, you were able to get the game-tying goal before it went into a double overtime tie.
Yeah, it was a really tough game. It was a very physical game. I don't know if you could tell from the highlight videos, but the girls really worked really hard throughout the entire game, and we definitely outshot them, outworked them. We just couldn't find the back of the net, it seems. But.
You went to double overtime, as we mentioned, more than 100 minutes yourself on the field. Talk about what it takes to play that many minutes.
A lot of it is the preparation during the summer, during preseason. Our Coach Kellogg definitely has run us quite a few times just to maintain our fitness and to get that fitness to begin with. So,
Bulldogs back at home, as we mentioned, after playing 8 in a row on the road, but a little bit muddy conditions with all the rain this past weekend. Talk about the field and how that had an impact on the game.
The field was ridiculous. There was holes everywhere, there's standing water everywhere, but a lot of it is just whoever wants to work harder, whoever's not going to be affected so much by the conditions of the field is going to come away with the win.
And there we just saw your game-tying goal against Tiffin. You, as we mentioned, have 10 goals on the year and one of the conference leaders. What's been some of the differences in your game in being able to put more goals in the net this season?
I think a lot of it is my fitness to begin with. I came into the season fit, so I didn't have to make up for that during preseason, and I could just continue to become more fit. And a lot of it is just the work of practicing on shooting throughout the summer and staying after practice on my shooting, and I think that's pretty much what led to it.
You've had a number of close games, I guess, in recent weeks. 5 of the last 6 really decided by 1 goal or less or a tie, and it seems like they've all been close. What have been some of the things that have helped your team get over the top in those close games?
A lot of it is just work ethic. If we're willing to win those 50-50 balls, willing to slide to get that goal, I think that's what really has helped us come away with the win, scoring those hard-to-get chances. As you saw in the Tiffin game, that goal was not the most pretty goal you've ever seen, but just throwing your body into the mix of everything and mucking everything up in there, just really.
You got off to a slow start in conference play early in the year, but some tough non-conference matchups really helped prepare you for the GLIAC, and you're at 7-7-3 overall, but 7-4-3 in conference play, and have to feel pretty good about where you are in the conference standings.
Yeah, it's really nice coming into this weekend against Grand Valley, hopefully having a pretty good handle on, yes, we're going to get into the GLIAC, and last year it was a little questionable based on what other teams' results were, but to have control of whether or not our season's going to continue is such a good feeling compared to previous years. Yeah.
You mentioned Grand Valley this Saturday, the regular season finale, and maybe your last home game. Talk about how special that's going to be and what type of memories you have from playing here at home.
I think it's going to be a tough one this weekend just because 4 years I've played soccer now here at Ferris, and having to finish. So luckily we'll have more games to play with postseason, but it will just be a hard time, I think, this weekend. But
You're second in the North Division in the conference behind Grand Valley. Earlier this year, you played Grand Valley, a 3-1 loss in Allendale, but you guys got off to a 1-0 lead in that game. The first team to score on Grand Valley down there in about 2.5 years. Talk about what it's going to take to play with Grand Valley this week in the defending national champs.
Yeah, scoring on Grand Valley is not an easy thing, and on top of scoring on Grand Valley, holding them to 0 at the back is even harder, because once you score on them, that really gets them fired up, because they haven't lost in over a year now. They were back-to-back national champions, so I think in order for us to come away with a result this weekend, we're just going to have to play full 90 minutes and just work our butts off, basically.
One of 3 seniors on this year's Bulldog team, a young team with a number of younger players. Talk about how some of those young kids have came in this year and developed into better players as the years went on.
The freshmen that came in this year, they really picked up on what it means to work very quickly. They also are very good technically, which have been a very good asset to the team. They can put passes together, take people on one-on-one, set people up, and even finish. So they've contributed a lot to the team, I think.
I know you've been one of the leaders as a senior captain in your career. You've all GLIAC, all region type selection. Talk about coming into the program and what you expected and what you've achieved, and how those things have differed, I guess, as your careers went on.
I really wanted to come in to Ferris and really make a difference on the program. The program hasn't been very successful in the past, and my goal coming in was just to make a difference with the program. And a couple of years back, it didn't really seem like I've had really much of an effect with having poor seasons, but I think the last 2 years our program has really gotten going with Matt being our new coach, and I'm just hoping that we're going to have a very successful postseason.
As you look ahead to the postseason, GLIAC tournament starts next week. You don't know where you're going to be at yet, but second in the North going into this weekend. And what are some of your expectations for the GLIAC tournament?
Winning it all, basically, or at least getting to second place, so then we can move on to the NCAA tournament. The Ferris State's program has never done that, and it'd be a great way to end my career being the first team to make it to the NCAA tournament. You're
going to finish your career as one of the leaders in points and goals. Talk about the lasting memory you're going to have here at Ferris State.
Lasting memory, I just really just want to have just a great last game. Don't want to leave anything out on the field. Don't want to have any regrets. So I'm hoping the postseason will go really well for us.
Well, best of luck this weekend against Grand Valley.
Thank you very much.
That's going to wrap up another edition of Ferris Sports Update. Remember to visit online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com to keep up with the Bulldogs.